on CPU. Here we will discuss some techniques on how we will do deep learning on CPUs, but in heterogeneous computing scenarios. So I will discuss these two. Okay, this will be very, very interesting. So the first one is, if they have multiple AMP, how we may run some layers on big clusters, some layers on small clusters. That is a key idea, right? If we run everything only here, then we are not utilizing this one. If we run everything here, that definitely it's not a good idea because they are they are not powerful servers. They're not powerful. So, but if we run, if we divide our neural network such that some layers run here, some layers run here, that is a very good design. So that's a summary of it. I'm not going to discuss in detail. Okay, this one I will discuss. So here, this is the technique called deep VR, adaptive local offloading for on-variable deep learning. So what do we understand just by the term variable handheld collaborative computing? What do you understand with this term? Narendra, Shrikant, Suman, Ashish? Anyone? Sagar, Vikas? Anyone? Anyone, please? What do you understand by this variable and handheld? Just tell me by that point, variable and handheld.
The coordinated computing between a smartwatch and phone.
Smartwatch and?
Smartwatch and our phone.
Okay, very good. Smartphone. Yeah. So see here, this handheld is this one, variable is this one, right? So I think I don't think people here use it. That's good. I don't think people use smartwatch. That's why they don't know much about it. I also don't like it. I also don't use it. So see here. See, the whole point is this smartwatch actually gets paired with a particular mobile phone or smartphone. So the whole idea is, if we are executing a neural network, instead of doing it all on the smartphone or all on the smartwatch, let us split its execution so that some layers are processed here, some layers are processed here. So first of all, these are the benchmarks that they test, and here we have this is the Nexus 6. Nexus 6 is I think a smartphone. LG Urbane, this is a smartwatch. Galaxy S2, I think this is a okay. LG, this is a variable. Okay, this is a smart watch. Nexus 6 is a smartphone. Galaxy X2, what is this? Anybody knows what is Galaxy S2? Okay, maybe we have to search online to find out what that is. It is one of the two, I guess. It must be smartwatch. I don't know what is this.
It's a smartphone, sir.
Smartphone. Okay, Galaxy S2 is a smartphone. Okay, very. Thank you. So
I
this is a
think there is a smartphone and smartwatch also, sir, named Galaxy S2.
Okay. That's why. I forgot what it was. Probably I check that. But again, this is definitely a smartphone. This is definitely a smartwatch. Okay. So here you can see that this smartphone has much higher amount of memory. It has probably a powerful GPU. Here the memory is much smaller. And and anyway, let us skip Galaxy S2. And these are the applications that we need, and this is the number of computations that they perform. This is the amount of battery this one has. This is the amount of battery that this has. And here we pair them using Bluetooth. Okay, this is the key point you have to remember. Okay, so now Bluetooth, I'm sure everybody knows what is Bluetooth. And anybody does not know Bluetooth? Okay, good. Okay, now on handheld, right, smartphone, our model is run either on CPU or GPU. Okay. Now, On we have a governor which is interactive, which runs at high frequency. So what is governor? I'll just very soon explain. Okay, so conventional technique is that suppose you want to interact with a smartphone. One option, the conventional technique is okay. Whichever application you need to run, it will run locally on the smartwatch variable. And one option is okay, on smartwatch don't run anything. You give that request to the handheld. Okay, you do it for me and you send the answer. Just like nowadays this personal assistants have come like Alexa. So Alexa itself does not do the computation. It just records your query, sends it to the whatever their backend data centers. Data center there the process is done. That sends the answer and you get that answer. Similarly here, one option is smartwatch does nothing. Everything is offloaded to the smartphone, and then the answer is sent back, whether it's a dog or cat image, whatever image it is, like image classification. Both are inefficient. This option and this option both are inefficient. How? Here. So first, let us see here Google Net model. So one is you run everything on Urbane, which is the smart watch. Okay, this is smartwatch. So here, this is latency you incur. Now Galaxy, so it has low latency. That means it must be a smartphone. And similarly, if you run it on Nexus 6, it is why there is no compute latency here? Galaxy, I think Galaxy must be a smart watch, because here I think it must be a smart watch because there is no communication happening here. Yeah, because there's no communication happening here. See, whenever you're doing something on the smartphone, you have to send the result back. I mean, the data has to go there and the result has to come. That's why this must be a smartphone and this is a smartwatch. So the whole point is, see, although the smartphone can do the computation very, very fast, right? But it spends additional amount of energy to send back the data or to receive the data and send back the results. Okay. So here the observation, although handheld, that means smartphone can reduce the compute latency, the overall latency may not decrease because of the high latency of data transfer. Okay, you can see this. That means latency is not fully reduced because of the communication latency. Now, what is governor? Okay, so our smartphone, the smartphones have something called governor, which is like a management technique. Now there is a technique called interactive and power save. So in the interactive technique, here you see I introduced. Here you run your smartphone at very high, highest possible frequency, so that your user gets good performance. But whenever you want to save performance, whenever you want to save energy, then you move to lower frequency, right? We have discussed that energy management technique presentation, DVS and DVFS techniques. Okay, so whenever you want to save power, you move to lower frequency. Fine. So power save governor runs handheld at low frequency when the battery is low or the screen is off. Right, somebody is not using, why? Screen is off, that means no user is using it, so let us reduce the frequency. Okay. Now, now the whole point is, suppose I am the smartwatch, you are the smartphone. Okay, I ask you to, okay, you do this task for me. So now if you are in a power saving mode, that means if you are using power save governor, then you send the result very slowly, right? The execution time increases much more. So here you see that for the mobile net model, right? Mobile net model is a what you call compact CNN. See here, Google Net, LSTM, and these were the 4 CNNs here, and these are other 4. So if you see here for mobile net, it is much better to do computation on the smartwatch itself, because if you first do on smartphone and then send, it takes a lot of time. Communication is very slow. Computation is fast on smartphone, but communication is slow over Bluetooth. And especially if it is in the power save governor mode, then here you can see it's a lot of increase in the computation time. Because I'm asking you, that means I'm asking the smartphone to do this for me when smartphone is idling or when it is in low frequency mode. Obviously, it will run slow, right? So here you see that there is no benefit, right? Rather, there is a lot of loss. Of course, here it's benefit, but in DPR, in text RNN, in mobile net, it's a losing proposition that I should give it to the smartphone. And another thing is, what about energy, data transfer? So actually, Bluetooth take lot of energy. Okay, more offloading releases total energy consumption of wearable plus handheld due to Bluetooth energy. So here is if you execute it locally. Another is if you offload to Nexus 6 CPU, so your Urbane will take some energy, very small energy, just to offload, and then Nexus 6 runs. Nexus 6, here you're using CPU. So it takes a lot of energy to do the execution, then you get the results. I mean, it takes a lot of energy for the compute plus Bluetooth. Here also, even if you send it to the GPU, it takes a lot of energy. Here again, same results. So what is the proposed technique? So first technique was, okay, do everything on smartphone. Another was do all the neural network on the, sorry, here was smartwatch. Here do everything on the smartphone. And here is the proposed technique. So what is the proposed technique? Execute some layers on the smartwatch and some layers on the smartphone. Okay. Now, how to decide which layers to, how many layers here, how many layers there? For that, they use a machine learning model to find the latency energy of different layers in different devices. And based on that, they partition the DNN model between wearable and handheld. Okay, any questions till this point? Okay, now here is the result. And their model also accounts for the Bluetooth bandwidth, processor load, battery status, pairing status, and so on. So overall, they have shown that their technique saves total energy of handheld plus wearable. And it also reduces latency because the output of an internal layer is smaller than that of the first layer. Right? See, in this approach, here we are sending the full network. I mean, the full input image. We are sending this whole input image over Bluetooth. So that input image may be much larger in size. But here, instead of sending the input image, we are only sending intermediate matrices, or intermediate layer output. That intermediate layer output is smaller in size compared to the input size. That's why you save the energy also, and you save the latency, and you reduce the data transfer overheads. Okay, in this way. And of course, further you can do pipeline execution. That is further optimization. So I hope you got the overall idea. Instead of doing everything on smartwatch, let us split the workload. The next technique is similar. Just here it is between mobile and cloud. Instead of offloading everything to the cloud, mobile should do something first and then send it to the cloud, so that our cloud resources are also saved and our data transfer overheads are also saved. So here I will not discuss this part in full, but here they have tested for on the mobile you can either use CPU, GPU. In the cloud you are definitely using GPU, and your network you can either use 3G network, LTE network, or Wi-Fi. So here they have shown that data transfer becomes very slow. I mean, Wi-Fi and LTE they are fast, but 3G 3G communication is very slow. So that's why instead of running everything on the data center or running everything on the smartphone or your device itself, let us split. Run some of the layers locally, and then you move it to the cloud. Optimize overall latency in the mobile energy, and improves data center throughput. Why data center throughput? Because now data center is receiving less number of queries or smaller queries, so that data center can handle many more queries. Okay. So I will stop for today.